Oh my God, Rahman said something he should not have said. So let's stop listening to his music and do something else, right? That's what someone recommended to me on X. And they said I should check out a composer called Amit Trivedi. I'd never heard of him, but anyways, that doesn't matter to me. I want to check out another talent because somebody actually recommended that person. So I go to Google, search for Amit Trivedi. The results show up, and I pick the first one and the first song. And after 10 seconds into it, I was like, oh my God, this is horrifying. It was starting to hurt my ears. I mean, to each our own, but for people to say that somebody else, like Amit Trivedi, God knows who he is, or some of these other composers that they've recommended on X, saying that they are anywhere near or better Rahman is so ludicrous. Just given the size of Rahman's achievements and what he's done over the years across languages, right? So just get your facts straight before you blurt out silly stuff. Now, if you don't like what he does, what he says, sure, just hopefully you live in a democratic country, so just do go listen to some other music, one that appeals to you. But the point here being, you can say that he's not allowed to say what he actually shared, and he's very apolitical. He hardly ever says anything controversial. I think he consciously does not do that because he doesn't want to get into that space. But when he does inadvertently say things like this, it means he does feel that, right? He's in a position where he can express these opinions, unlike a lot of the other people who are emerging composers and talented artists who surely are not able to make these comments because their career wouldn't even get started. So when somebody who's at this point in their career is able to make these comments, I think we've got to pause for a second before we start complaining and pointing fingers and blaming them, and doing all of those other things. We need to take the opportunity to make just analyze this a bit more, right? Do a bit of research, see why that person may have said what they actually did say, whether they made a subtle insinuation or whether they said it explicitly loud and clear. Go do your research, do some reading, do all of that and see if there is a problem. And most likely there would be, because otherwise that person would not have necessarily mentioned it, especially someone like Rahman who has no need to prove anything to anybody anymore. Not that any of us have to do it at any point of time, but that's besides the point. So he is in a place where he can make these comments and have people take notice, which is good. And maybe he's doing something good also one more time, not in a musical sense, but for people who are in that industry. Because if people are vilified or marginalized for whatever reason, right, in any part of the world, and if somebody stands up for those people rather than push them down, I think we need to give them a listening ear and see why they did say that. Is there value in what they said? Is there substance? And if there isn't, then that's a different story. We can have those conversations. But it's important to have those conversations and not be dismissive. Because by virtue of being dismissive, we miss the point and we're not going to make the place a world a better place. Which I think all of us should make a small effort in doing that. At least that's my 2 cents.